They said heart energy is going to be one of the most important things on the planet in the coming decades, meaning it will be who is using their heart intelligence, not their mental or egoic intelligence in isolation from their heart. So the way I can look at that is
Okay, I'm going to ask you a big general question, and it's the kind of thing I think you could talk about for many, many hours, but you can just give me the pith response. How do you see, from all the work you've done with disease, this time we're in as a human species? This is my big general, oh my God, this time we're recording this conversation end of 2025.
things that groups of us have known about or been privy to or heard about for the last 30, 40, 50 years are now happening right in front of our faces. So to me, this is kind of a crunch time, meaning this is it. Like this is the moment where things start to transform. I'm often it's weird. I just got that image of the movie Titanic, where at the end, the boat kind of snaps in half and everything goes the other way. I feel like that's where we're at right now. I feel that we've gone through this period over about the last 10, 13 years, like 2012 onwards. We've started to see what we knew as the 3D world transform. And I feel like we're right now at the beginning of the next massive transformation. I think we're going to see transformation in the next 10, 20 years that could match what our parents' generation saw in their whole lifetime.
And if a listener says, well, my intent is to align as much as possible with benevolent impacts, how do I do that, Lee, from your
Work on,
perspective?
work on love. Work on love. So identify what love feels like to you in your body. For some people, love feels like purpose. For some people, love feels warm and fuzzy and giving things to people. And for some people, it's different for everyone. But aligning with purposeful either work, or perhaps it's not your career, but it's work that you do as service or with your community that kind of makes your heart light up. Because usually your heart will be lighting up because you're lighting up other hearts at the same time. And you're in resonance with hearts you're lighting. And equally in your personal life, look for love and look to keep moving toward love and away from judgment, division, which for all of us requires and involves shedding behaviors that we all used to see as normal based on our conditioning that we then outgrow and go, oh, wow, that's a bit judgmental. I had no idea, but I was trained into it. Now I know what my heart feels like. I can recognize when I say that thing about this person, oh, that didn't feel good. Because I've opened my heart to love enough that I recognize there isn't enough love in that sentence I just said. Oh, time for me to stop saying what I learned from my family or the business place I've been in for 10 years. Who do I want to be? And I would say love and heart energy. The Z's have said heart energy is going to be one of the main currencies on the earth in the coming decades. So heart energy to me always makes me think, yeah, where do we feel love? Where do we feel we have given love, received love? Where do we feel love inside us for what we are doing, what we are living? Can we keep going in that direction as much as possible on any given day?
What do you mean by currencies, one of the main currencies?
Yeah, good question. They said heart energy is going to be one of the most important things on the planet in the coming decades, meaning it will be who is using their heart intelligence, not their mental or egoic intelligence in isolation from their heart. So the way I can look at that is the good of the all being considered? Is what it is that you want to do, does it have a positive ripple effect in the world? Or is it something you want to do to feed yourself, just you and your family, just your ego, whatever need you have to be seen a certain way? These are all fairly old paradigm identities that are fading out. Overall, they're fading out. There will still be some people who will embody them a lot. And then there will be others who have no interest in that kind of story of being on earth anymore, and they will move more to a heart space, which is my heart feeling like we are good? Is my heart feeling like my world is good? It's a I'm trying to think, how can I explain it less abstractly for someone who doesn't really understand what I'm talking about? Again, it is as simple as, and yet this is challenging to be vigilant about if you aren't a growth oriented or minded person. It is as simple as asking yourself, how did I feel today on a scale of 1 to 10 overall throughout my day? I give myself a 2. I was really stressed this morning. Then I was agitated at lunchtime. Then there was too much work in the afternoon. And then my sister really annoyed me when she phoned me at 6. Yeah, today wasn't a good day. This was a 2 out of 10. Okay, how tomorrow do I make it a 6 out of 10? Well, I have to identify what the stresses were. So you can say, angels, please let me have a better day tomorrow. And that's one way of creating a different energy in your life. But you'll also have to go, oh, yeah, my sister, I probably shouldn't take her call tomorrow if she calls me again. Or I need to have a clear conversation with her about, we need to learn to communicate differently because this isn't working for me. The work I'm doing is sapping my soul. I might need to think that over the next 6 to 12 months, I need to take action around that. So I think uncovering the heart actually takes work. It's not just, oh, good, I felt really good for 10 minutes. I found my heart. I think it's also identifying where and when we get further away from our heart. So I know for me, it would be overwhelm or stress. So then I'll look at, okay, I need to calm the schedule down. I spoke to too many people today. How am I going to change that tomorrow? So it's always kind of fine tuning through your own evolution process.
It's interesting to me, this notion on liberating, I would say, our heart energy to flow in an unobstructed way. That's the way I'll put it from my own experience. And it's interesting. I feel like I'm right on time in a certain way, which I'm grateful for. I don't say that arrogantly. I hope it doesn't sound that way. It's more like I've been suffering, and this is apparent that this is the next evolutionary phase that wants to happen, which is to find in my own inner awareness pockets of heart energy that are occluded, like somehow little areas that are like, no, we're not going to be part of the big heart opening agenda, Tammy. No way. It's going to hurt too much. Bye bye. Bye bye. Bye bye. No. And they're like hiding out a little bit.
Yeah.
And I wonder what you might say to that for other people who are on this work on love project. They get it. That's what this time's about, but have pockets of like, it hurt
Yeah.
too much.
It's, by the way, that's normal. And I think it's so interesting because, Tammy, it's brilliant talking to you. Firstly, because of what you've done for so long in the field. You've been doing this for 30 years and you've built an organization that serves consciousness. I've been a student of self-growth and spirituality consciously since I was 16, and I'm 49 now, and I've been working in it for 21 years. I resonate with what you just said because I think back to what I thought about spirituality and self-growth 25, 30 years ago, and it seems so basic now, but it's where not only I was, it's where the world was. And I think we've all changed. And so I think if you are a student of self-growth and spirituality for a long time, there can be this sometimes illusionary idea that, oh, well, I'm just going to be enlightened for the last 30 years of my life and everything's going to be peaceful and easy. And actually, if you are here as an energy mover or as an energy worker or a light worker or a grid worker, whatever label you do or don't identify with, the path is usually one of constant change and transformation. Because if you're here to be here for the ride of transformation on earth, lo and behold, you're going to have to be a few steps ahead of it.